Hey everybody, Vincent here. If you're at all familiar with my show, then you've noticed I'm not in the studio. Reason for that being is, well, coronavirus. It's changed about just about everything, big and small. One of the things that changed for me is that I can't go into the studio right now, especially since just today it was announced by the governor that, well, gotta stay home. But I'm going nuts here, and just because there aren't any new movies coming out in theaters doesn't mean that there's nothing to review at all. So I've decided to take a look at the new Netflix movie starring Mark Wahlberg. And for a Mark Wahlberg film, it has a very unique aspect to it. It's set in Boston, because Mark Wahlberg never does movies set in Boston. Except for all those other times. So Spenser Confidential is about Spenser, Boston cop who went to prison for 5 years after assaulting his captain. But when he gets out, his captain is murdered, and the person blamed for the murder is somebody he believes to be innocent. Because of that, Spenser has to investigate. His character Spenser is kind of the pretty typical ex-cop slash investigator, crime investigator type of guy. You know, he does it because it's the right thing to do. Which is nice, but doesn't really add that many layers to his character, except for, he's got a Boston attitude about things, I wish I could say more about the character, but there really isn't that much more to talk about. He likes dogs. Next we'll move on to Winston Duke's character, Hawke. I like Winston Duke. I liked him in Black Panthers and Baka. I liked him as the dad in Us. I think he's a pretty good actor. In this movie, though, I don't think he's really given a lot to do. His character is just like this big, tough guy that's learning MMA because he wants to make a living out of it because he really doesn't have that much going on in his life and he wants to make life better for himself. He's Spenser's unfortunate roommate, and by that I mean when Spenser got out of jail, he thought he was going to have a place to stay, a room of his own, but it turns out he has to share the room with Hawke. This causes a few irritating problems with him, especially when Hawke seems to be now closer to Spenser's dog than Spenser is. So that does lead to a few funny moments, but nothing like really laugh out loud, nothing really that great. The dynamic between the two of them is, well, Spenser helps him in his MMA training and Hawke shows him how to use computers because apparently Spenser never understood computers even though he should have some understanding because of his age. Kind of weird, but anyway, he really provides some muscle that Spenser may be lacking at times, even though they show throughout the movie that Spenser is a pretty competent fighter. And if there's one thing I gotta say about Winston Duke's performance, maybe I missed this in the movie, so if anybody knows, please tell me, but I'm pretty sure he's just a normal American guy, but there are times when Winston Duke's accent kind of comes in, because Winston Duke was born in Trinidad, so I can't tell whether he was supposed to have a background where he's not originally from America, or the director just didn't notice that his accent was slipping in at times. Yeah. Next we'll talk about Alan Arkin's character, Henry. Henry is a friend of Spenser, and it's his place that Spenser is staying at. His thing is that he's old and likes hot dogs. Yeah, that's really it. He's old and he likes hot dogs. I mean, I like hot dogs, but this guy really likes hot dogs. It's kind of weird. Finally, for characters, we'll talk about Eliza Schlesinger's character, Sissy. Sissy is Spenser's girlfriend that he had before he went into prison, and she runs a kennel now. Apparently a very successful one, or something like that. Anyway, I know Eliza in real life, her main profession is a comedian. I haven't seen any of her stand-up before. I'm not sure she's done other films or movies before, so I'm not that familiar with her acting career, but this movie is not making her look that great. She's just a standard, tough, no-nonsense, yell-in-your-face Boston kind of woman. She's really a caricature, and that's something a lot of the other characters kind of have that going for them. I mean, Spenser himself is just mostly a Boston caricature in many ways, and it really hits hardest with Sissy's character. Honestly, there's really not much to say about her, except she's constantly angry at Spenser in a very Bostonian way. Kind of sucks. So let's talk about the story overall. This is technically a crime drama slash mystery, and the mystery isn't that tough. I mean, Spenser just goes around, asks questions, and he mostly gets the answers. And when he doesn't get the answer, he just kind of punches people. Or somebody punches him. I'm not kidding. Throughout, like, I want to say 85 to 90% of the movie, Spenser has some kind of blood or wound on his face. He's constantly getting his ass kicked. Whether it's by the bad guys or the cops in Boston who hate him for beating up the captain 5 years ago. I guess it's to show that he's tough and he can still push through things, which is a good mark of like an action type hero, because there is action in the movie. But it's more that, yeah, he survived getting his ass kicked instead of like powering through tough opponents like in John Wick. It's not exactly the same. And once again, the mystery isn't all that great either. He just kind of asks a question and he gets an answer. And then there's not real detective work. There's no mystery. There's no like, oh, okay, here's what we got. How does this all fit together? No, he just keeps asking people questions left and right and he gets them. There's a subplot in the movie about Spenser wanting to move to Arizona to be a big rig truck driver because there's no way he can be a cop in Boston anymore, nor does he seem to want to be a cop anywhere else. And that's fine, it's a nice little subplot, but it's mentioned a lot in the first half of the movie, like, a little too much to the point where, like, okay, we get it, that's what he wants to do. Okay, we get it, this is supposed to pay something off later, just, we get it. On a technical level, this movie feels more like a TV movie than a feature film. It's more with the lighting and cinematography, it just doesn't work. It's not bad, but it feels like I'm watching a TV movie, or the opening two-parter to some lighthearted crime drama on like ABC, NBC, or maybe, I don't know, Paramount Network, I don't know. But yeah, it feels more TV level than cinematic level, if you know what I'm talking about. And if it was just the opener to some TV show, I'd probably be a little easier on it. Only a little bit, because honestly, everything feels really standard in the film. And hell, even the comedy. This movie tries to have comedy in it, and most of it's just like, that's fine. I think I laughed maybe once or twice throughout the whole film. If Netflix really wants to compete with the big studios, and we know they do. I mean, hell, they funded The Irishman this past year. You know, Martin Scorsese film, that was a big one for them. And they've done other films, like Bird Box. They were really banking on that, and that one did kind of well, depending on how you look at it. And then the year before that, they had Bright, which I was really disappointed by that one, personally. So, do I recommend this film, or do I not recommend this film? Well, if this was a typical movie theater release that I usually review, I'd probably say no. Not that it's bad, it's okay, it's fine. But, since the movie theaters are closed and most of us are staying home, if you're looking for something to pass the time, it's not a bad watch at home. You know, it's on Netflix, so you've already technically paid for it. So, if you're looking for something really good, Spenser Confidential isn't that. But if you're looking for something just to watch at home, a little bit of crime drama, a little mystery, action, all that, or if you're just a fan of Mark Wahlberg, I think it'll do you well enough. Well guys, that's it for my review of Spenser Confidential. If you enjoyed this video, please click that subscribe button for more videos. Let me know what you think of Spenser Confidential down in the comments. And hopefully I'll get back to the studio sometime soon. But until then, I gotta review some movies. So if there's anything that's come out on Netflix or Disney Plus or Hulu, any movies you would like to see me review, please let me know down in the comments and I'll take a look at them. Take it easy.